What's good, y'all? What's good? I thought I'd hit y'all with a live stream today to cover some of the news we've been talking about this week. What's good, DHN Crypto? What's good? I appreciate you tapping in. So, man, y'all, there's been a lot of stuff going on this week. And again, there's so much to always cover with crypto. One day you get a Trump executive order, the next day you get a trade war, the day after that we get a pump. Anything can happen. And I see a lot of upside since we had such a pullback. As we wait for more people to enter the stream, I'm going to play y'all a little music and then we're going to break down what we're going to talk about today. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe. All the scenery, trees and greenery, cryptocurrency, stake my currency first to the research, deep dive feet first on the beat, berserk on the block we work. Grown man, big world, tiny man. Big bags, 100 grand rubber band. Life of blockchain, never be the same. Verify the ownership, change the game. Transparency when I'm talking fame. Tokenizing our mind and our brain. When I step a pool, I get an LP. Impermanent loss won't affect me. Passive income, passive income, passive income. Gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple. We getting all this money to purchase rentals and get passive income. A neighborhood hero who started from zero. Researching the crypto and teaching his people. Collecting some euro in Europe for crypto. Spending that dinero on chain with Circo. On chain money market, on folks where I park it. USDC for profit, crypto still popping. The money, I stack it. Crypto bags, I pack it. US Gov, attack it. Puerto Rico won't tax it. Yeah, so that's that 0 to 100. Make sure y'all check that out on Will Music. But today, y'all, we're going to be talking about some Algorand news and really just going through this post from someone I follow. And I like to keep y'all up to date with Algorand, break everything down of what's been happening and why I'm bullish on Algorand still. Through all the ups and downs, I'm still here, right? Then we're going to talk about the news, stellar Lumen news with Salesforce. I think this gives us great insights into what is going to come next. Then we'll break down Trump DeFi executive order and the SEC Crypto Council. So without further ado, let's dive in to this post here. So this is from France.algo. And make sure y'all give him a follow. He definitely writes up some pretty dope posts, and I like to cover them on the show. So we got the RWA market is going to become absolutely massive in the coming years. That's a fact. So Algorand ticks all the boxes for large-scale adoption. Let me quickly explain why. So then he goes into, if you cover Algorand, you know about some of this. And if you're new, this would be great. But he goes into the scalability, 14,000 transactions per second. We definitely seen that happen in real time about a month or so ago. So for mass adoption, a chain needs to scale smoothly in any condition, no congestion, no delays. Algo has already handled 14K plus transactions per second on mainnet multiple times with zero issues. So Algorand folks love to drag Solana, and it definitely makes sense. Solana can't really handle those type of, transactions that you can get, especially you got nodes running, you got a lot of stuff happening. So you got the no forks happening, no forks. Remember back in the day, Ethereum Classic forked and it made Ethereum. I believe one of the two happened. So that used to be one chain that forked, and forking is a way for assets to be duplicated, even if it was temporary. You don't want a duplicate of assets. Duplication is bad because people don't know what they holding. They all of a sudden now have two chains split. Where do you try to sell these assets? What are we actually holding? Which is real, which is fake? That causes confusion. You don't want that. Then you got reliable, 100% uptime. Again, Solana goes down. We even seen a few chains to our surprise that went down that we would have never expected. Even Base has went down for a few moments, I believe, but people barely notice. But Algorand, you don't have to deal with that. So this is for enterprise adoption, especially. Decentralized for sure. Node running. I'm running a node right now, and my node is still performing. And I use Valar. So let me know if y'all got questions about that. I don't even run it on my own computer or laptop or device. And then this is more deeper into the nerdiness or technicalness of the blockchain. We have native atomic swaps on L1. Another key feature for RWAs, Algorand enables trustless and secure exchanges between users natively on layer one, all within a single atomic transaction. So A trades B, B trades C. We all get what we want in 2.5 seconds, right? And low fees. Obviously, there's a few chains now out there that has low fees, but Algorand's still one of the lowest. And then granular control. Most of the time, especially when it comes to compliance, institutions or companies need full control over their on-chain assets. Algorand makes this possible with role-based permissions like freezes and clawbacks. Definitely. I remember back in the day, a few years ago, when he was launching NFTs on Algorand, and or a coin or a token, you definitely wanted to make sure they ain't had no freeze or clawback. Freeze or clawback was not a good look because you can sell it to somebody, claw it back, sell it again, especially to the rookies and novices out there. So anyone doing a bit of research can already see the tons of RWA use cases on Algo, even from massive institutions across a wide range of sectors. So here we go. This is a great breakdown. This is my favorite part of this tweet. So we got from stocks Exodus, right? They have tokenized their stock and is on the NASDAQ exchange. Let me see if I can EXOD. EXOD is the ticker price. So right here. So this is the tokenized stock and it's on the NASDAQ. Right now it's worth $36. Max chart looks pretty good. The initial public offer was a few years ago. It went flat. Boom. News of tokenization and off to the races. So up year to date, 27%. That is solid. Shout out to the Exodus team. And remember, they was out there at that White House Crypto Council. Then you got real estate tokenization. That's Lofty AI. That's Vesta Equity. Y'all know about tokenized real estate, fractional ownership, liquidity. Then you got airline tickets, which is one of my favorite, TravelX. I interviewed them before their like big launch about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. They have been handling a large portion of the Algorand transactions, or they're responsible for is TravelX. So that's massive. And then agricultural commodities, Just Token Global, and you got Agro Token, music royalties, A Note Music, and Precious Metals, Meld Gold, one of my favorites as well. World Cup, FIFA, obviously the biggest NFT project, NF tickets, just like TravelX's tickets, very similar. Enel Group with the renewable electricity, obviously stable coins. And Circle, remember, may go public very soon. USDC dominates on Algorand. And then Hasab Pay, the real game changer, in my opinion. Hasab Pay, which is doing the payments out in Afghanistan, also in Syria now. They'll probably be expanding more. Quantos as well. Interviewed Quantos a few times. They have the Mika compliant European stable coins for definitely businesses and whatnot. Climate trade, different carbon things, and then museum stuff, books.io, clothes, world chess, water credits, so much more. So that's what I think is obviously fire about Algorand, and I think that one is definitely important. And that's what sets it apart. And I really feel like as time goes, you'll be only getting more value out of the Algorand blockchain, especially with what they're cooking right now. So let's check this out. This next one up, I want to check out. This is about, excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Maybe a little spring allergy or something. Appreciate y'all blessings if you got some blessings for me in the chat. So we got right here breaking news. This is from Coin Bureau. Brad Garland House confirms in agreement with SEC staff to dismiss the Ripple case. $125 million fine is mostly being refunded. They're getting their money back, including the interest earned, and Ripple may even settle a $50 million fine in XRP. So this is interesting.
So we have reached agreement with staff. And usually what happens is you reach agreement with staff makes recommendation to the commission, and then the commission votes. So anytime we make announcements about that, we are clear that we've reached agreement with staff. The commission hasn't yet voted, but what we've agreed is to dismiss and move on. We're actually getting the SEC we had put in escrow a potential fine of $125 million. We're actually taking most of that back, including the interest that had been earned along the way. And I think it's just evidence that the Gensler SEC was on the wrong side of the law. And thanks to the new leadership at the SEC and in the White House, I think we're seeing a much more constructive, much more pro-innovation. We want these industries to grow at home.
When you say most of the 125 million you had parked in that little fund in case of the worst case scenario, what's left? Can you give us some?
The SEC is going to end up with a $50 million. The U.S. government's going to get $50 million. We even talked about making that available in XRP. But look, at the end of the day, this is a major step forward. I think if you kind of zoom out and look at this, the Trump administration is absolutely living up to their promises.
I'll tell you right now, though, the man's over there is cooking. He was like, listen, take this XRP bag, take this bag, and then we could settle our payments out. So I feel him. But you heard it from Brad Garland House himself. They have officially settled. Money's being transferred. And the good thing about the U.S. government, if you got enough bags, enough funds, you can pretty much pay these organizations and especially the Trump administration. For the most part, you can pay and get out of a lot of situations. We know Facebook is dealing with an antitrust right now. They better drop those billions, and then you be all right. Same with Google, right? So that's looking good. You got the Algorand getting prepared. You got XRP shaking all these cases brought on by Gary Gensler. And now you got this big news right here, which I am very happy about as well. It's pretty cool. So this is enterprise adoption, empowering stellar business users. So this is a great write-up by Lady Zoe over here. We at Web3 Enabler are committed to empowering stellar business users by bringing XLM payments to the Salesforce system. A strong developer community. The results of my recent expo seem to imply that many fellow blockchain founders also prioritize developer relations and education when choosing an ecosystem on which to build. So she put this poll out: DevRel/education, community, content, tooling, variety, security, reputation. They was like, we want all four of those. So give it up, Zoe. We want it all. So that's what they did. And so right here, this is the big part. We got empowering stellar business users. Our team at Web3 Enabler plans to bring stellar ecosystem to Salesforce, the world's leading customer relationship management CRM software. We plan to start stellar development plans by building an open source Salesforce native XLM wallet UI component. So basically bringing stellar Lumens to Salesforce. This will be the first step in our plan to integrate XLM payments into our commercial blockchain payments product, which is listed in the Salesforce App Exchange. And that is like, really huge. And then here's the Salesforce App Exchange there. This is that page. So they're going to be enabling payments. And I imagine USDC will be a part of this, because that's something everybody want to do, is pay cheaper, pay faster, have more payment options, and then use USDC. Very beneficial for Circle. And then we got further, just looking at CRMs, Salesforce. When everybody's talking about a CRM, it's usually Salesforce.
Salesforce is a big dog. Their stock is pretty solid, trusted by many companies. It is popping. There's others out there. However, the world's #1 AI CRM definitely is Salesforce. So that's something about that I think is very interesting. And then we covered this the other day or last week or a few days ago. Stellar Lumens building to scale. So they released their whole roadmap. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Yeah, it was on Tuesday. So go watch the video on Tuesday where I break down the whole roadmap. But Stellar is doing it big. And the important parts, I believe, mostly, especially from a user perspective, is here. Scalability of 5,000 transactions per second, right? We're aiming to increase our theoretical peak transaction throughput to 5,000. So that one is big, number one. Number two, more developer tools, like the Zoe lady said over there, developer tools. And then number three, did I pass it? Let's see, where was it at? Yeah, 2.5-second block finality right here. Scalability again. We're aiming for Stellar Core to support ledger close times of 2.5 seconds, down from 5. So they're cutting everything in half and they're increasing the number of transactions. So some of the biggest dogs in the game, obviously, that's what they're doing. So you got the XRPs, you got the Algorands, you got the Stellar Lumens, the H bars, cheap prices, fast payments, quick block time. So if I'm going to Starbucks, if I'm paying with my Stellar payment system or any of these type of blockchains, it has to be fast as Visa and you can't have no hiccups. That's plain and simple right there. And then the next big thing that I wanted to definitely bring to the table to y'all here is the Trump executive order. Trump signs bill to nullify expanded IRS crypto broker rule. And what is this? What does this all mean? Let's break it down. U.S. President Trump signed a bill to overturn a revised rule right here from the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, that expanded the definition of a broker to include decentralized currency exchanges, according to a statement from the White House. Trump is removing that language so that the IRS is no longer dealing with DeFi platforms. I love DeFi platforms. That's a big part of why I got into crypto. I'm really big into DeFi. I love earning the yields, and being able to borrow against if I'm gonna make a trade or something like that, or if you need some liquidity, right? And then it says, in the last weeks of the Biden administration, in December, the IRS updated its crypto tax reporting rule that it had finalized earlier in 2024 to clarify that its new guidelines would also apply to decentralized finance. We don't like that. We do not like that. So the cryptocurrency industry had slammed the revised rule, claiming it would be unworkable for DeFi platforms and called on Republicans to rescind it. And if anybody try to do some taxes with crypto, it's hard. You can't be like all them swaps that we be doing. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all do. Everybody, doing something different. So it's crazy. But here it is. But I think very important. So shout out to them for this. The new IRS framework finalized last year aimed to crack down on crypto users who may be failing to pay their taxes, and stemmed from the $1 trillion bipartisan 2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. It required digital asset brokers to send the forms to both the IRS and digital asset holders to assist with their tax preparation. That's definitely a no-go. Let's see what DHN said. I just renewed my lease. They asked if I owned crypto. Are you serious? I just renewed my lease. They asked if I own crypto. I'm not feeling that. I am not feeling that. So where I'm at is this: like, I don't want nobody to be asking me about whether I own crypto or not. I want to keep that in my own business. basically. Let me make sure I got this right too. Because I'm pretty sure this year they extended the rule of that you don't have to report crypto right now. I'm not quite sure. I seen something about that. I'll dive into that another time. Anyways, taxes is over as of 2 days ago, so it's all good. I did my taxes. But yeah, don't tell them about your crypto. Don't do it. Do not do it. Not cool, not cool. So keep your crypto private. That was the whole point of us in there, right? Here we go. Then it says Trump on the campaign trail pledged to be a crypto president and courted cash from the industry by promising to promote the adoption of digital assets. So smart move there. And then the next government focused topic on crypto is this right here. Is the SEC announces agenda panelists and for roundtable on crypto custody. DHN Crypto says, once I saw it in the tax forms last year, I knew it was coming. I said, no, ma'am. I feel you. Yeah, I'm trying to tell my tax preparer, I'm like, hey, listen, we'll worry about that another time. A few years ago, I paid way too much taxes because of crypto too. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to, move some numbers around or something. We're gonna have to do something, I told her. So they always do it right. And I prepare for that, And definitely if you're holding for a year, that lowers your capital gains tax anyway. So that's something, you don't want to pay 20%, but it's a lot of different factors. But either way, I like to keep my crypto private. DeFi could be confusing if I'm swapping from USDC to buying some asset back and forth, swapping asset to asset. I bought an NFT, it sold the NFT. You can't really write all that down. Taxable events. We need a law like Puerto Rico. No capital gains. So we don't have to worry about that. Period. That's what we really need. So hopefully they put that in order. So this is the third meeting that's going to be happening. And it's cool to see the agenda that it will be happening in DC. Shout out to Cynthia Lumens. She's been pushing. Let me zoom in for y'all. So we have the opening remarks from U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. So you got the chief of staff of the crypto task force, right? The commissioners and commissioners. They'll do the opening remarks for 20 minutes. Then you go through the custody, through broker dealers and beyond. So you got a moderator, and then the panelists, which I think is important. Fireblocks, they be building. Anchorage Digital Bank. So we got Digital Bank. Fidelity Digital Asset Services. That's the people who's dealing with the cryptos. Kraken, an exchange. Exodus Movement. I'm not sure if that's the Exodus wallet or not. Etina Custody. I don't know who that is. And Copper Technologies. Then you have the break. So they're going to be going through a panel for about 40 minutes talking about the crypto custodians and whatnot. And then you go through the investment advisor section, investment advisor and investment company custody. And you have more moderators, Simple Thatcher and Barlett. So these names now I don't know. These seems like lawyers, LLP, right? Partners. Distributed Global, Georgetown University Law Center, exactly. Wisdom Tree, I know about Wisdom Tree. Yeah, so now you have the lawyers, University of Pennsylvania, Carey Law School. So that's good. So you got asset custodians, and then you have the panel with the lawyers. So they're figuring it out, y'all. They are figuring it out. This is positive. And here's the pictures of the roundtable people as well. So shout out to all these people that's handling business. But I'm hoping that they get this figured out where it benefits us as retail. That's what's most important, right? Definitely what's most important. And now let me know if you got any other comments or questions as we slowly start to close out. But this is what we need to do next is slide this over here. We're going to update that. So let's look at these crypto prices. Fear and greed index is at 30. So that's so much better than it was, right? Market cap still not as high as I would like. I like 3 trillion or above, but you got 2.67 trillion. We have Bitcoin just about at 85,000. It's holding the line. And I'm partially, my heart says if Bitcoin needs to hit 100,000 before any other crypto moves, we just need a full inflow of money. ETH almost at 16 again. XRP has been hovering the line from 190 to 205. Solana, nice pump from the bottom, 134. I don't know who be rocking with Tron, but y'all should let me know. Dogecoin, the OG, is still doing his thing. Chainlink, not looking bad, not looking bad at all. $7 billion market cap. It's not too many cryptos. There's only 10 and above, and 2 of them are stable coins that are actually above $10 billion. Isn't that interesting? So you got a 1 trillioner, 200 billion, 140 billion, 120, 80 billion, 70 billion, 20 billion, 20 billion, 20 billion, and then everything else from here down is less. And then as you go deeper in the trenches, you start to get to the 1 billions and 2 billions and 3 billions. And I remember, let me go to this whole top 100. I remember at one point, the whole top 100, everything was over $1 billion. And now you only have the first 60. Yeah, Algorand 1.6 billion. So that's what's happening right now. We want to see these prices rise. I want to see the whole top 100 minimum be the lowest coin. I need it to be 2-3 billion. That means money has flowed all the way through. We all looking for some X's. I'm not talking about relationships, right? We'll get there, y'all. We'll get there. But again, y'all, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. We about to close out. Y'all. Much love and peace to everybody who tapped in with me. I will see you on the next drop. Should be happening shortly. Make sure y'all watch these clips I'll be dropping too. Subscribe. Appreciate it. Let me know what y'all need in the comments below.
Passive income, gold.